Yeah, Seattle police say these dogs were starved, neglected, and abused to the point where 2 of them had to be euthanized. A third dog was found dead inside the owner's house. Animal control telling me this afternoon they have 6 more dogs that are currently in recovery. I talked to neighbors today who say they were concerned about these dogs long before they attacked their owner. It took a while, but police and animal control were able to wrangle these dogs after they attacked their owner, biting the man in the neck, arms, and legs.
He was essentially bit multiple times and bleeding pretty badly.
Responding officers quickly realized the dogs themselves were in danger too.
The dogs were extremely malnourished. They were emaciated. They looked at very, very poor health.
They don't look emaciated to me. They don't look in poor health to me. They got enough energy to launch attacks. Ain't nothing wrong with these mutants. This guy right here has put on the cape for these dogs in the most disgusting way possible. You're going to hear it in this video here. This is a recent story surfaced a few hours ago, if I'm not mistaken. And so this man was attacked by his own dogs. And they have whipped up a case against the man himself based on how the dogs look and the fact that they had some type of disease. It's real, very criminal.
He was essentially bit multiple times and bleeding pretty badly.
Responding officers quickly realized the dogs themselves were in danger too.
So they arrived to the scene where these dogs had attacked their owner. They arrived to the scenes and said, "Poor doggy. Oh, look at the poor little pooch. He looks hungry."
Were extremely malnourished. They were emaciated. They looked at very, very poor health. They were very skinny. And of course, they were scared. They were aggressive. They just didn't understand what was going on.
Oh, they were so afraid. They didn't know what was going on. This is after they attacked their owner. They instantly turned the dogs into the victims. Oh, look, they're scared. They don't know what's going on. Oh, they're hungry too. These parasite-infested mutts probably haven't even gone a full day without food yet. They are that riddled with parasites. I don't want to hear this, "Oh, they're being neglected," when you're talking about a parasite-infected mutant. They're always hungry because they're so disgusting.
The owner went to the hospital and the dogs went to the vet, where investigators say it was determined the dogs were so sick they needed to be put down.
Oh, they were so sick. Of course, you take the dogs directly to a nutter, a veterinarian. Of course, that instantly, the first thing they wanted to do was look for a way to make the dogs the victim. This is y'all's dog worshiping society and culture.
When you saw the dogs, did they look malnourished?
Yes, they looked horrible.
This neighbor, who asked us not to identify him, said he ran out of the house to help the dog owner when the attack happened.
They were covered in blood.
It sounds like you weren't the only neighbor to have concerns about this situation before the attack.
No, everybody in this building, if we have our windows open, could hear the dogs barking.
Neighbors say they...
So, you determined that the dogs were in horrible condition because you heard them barking? Get out of here. What a weak case. He owned a bunch of dogs and used to hear them barking all the time. And what goes on in the nutter's mind when they hear a dog barking? Oh, it must be mistreated. Oh, listen, and they're suffering. This is retarded. What y'all talking about?
It called animal control multiple times, but we're told there wasn't proof of animal abuse.
We didn't know specifics about abuse.
So you heard them barking, you heard the dogs barking, and you just assumed they was being abused? What kind of retarded are you? Lord. This is crazy.
But we knew that he had been in the house with a number of dogs for a number of years.
And of course, they were.
So, oh, that's your evidence? That he had a bunch of dogs? That he's a long-time dog owner? That's your evidence, huh? Y'all concluded that they're being mistreated? Get out of here. Ridiculous.
Were aggressive, but I think primarily they were just very scared.
Oh, why would they be scared, dude? Scared of their owner? Oh, listen, he's not done.
But I think primarily they were just very scared.
While the owner was hospitalized from the attack, investigators say they believe what happened to these dogs was a crime.
But I think he made some poor choices, and unfortunately those dogs, they did exactly what they're going to do when they get scared, when they get nervous, they get hungry.
They attack their owners. You telling me when they get scared and hungry, they launch attacks? No, they don't. When they're scared, they don't attack. What are you talking about? This guy is a detective. I don't think he is a dog detective. He's definitely not a dog expert. So be quiet. I ain't never heard that before. Oh, they're scared.
And unfortunately those dogs, they did exactly what they're going to do when they get scared, when they get nervous, they get hungry, and it's just a shame all the way around.
Scared, nervous, hungry.
Unfortunately those dogs, they did exactly what they're going to do when they get scared, when they get nervous.
What in the world is he talking about? You respond to a call, a man being attacked by his own dog, and somehow you magically found out that before the attack, the dogs were scared, nervous, and hungry? Oh, Lord. Lord, make it stop. And this is a detective.
They get hungry, and it's just a shame all the way around.
And it's nothing but a sob story for these worthless trash mutants. These disgusting beasts are nothing but parasites, leeches, maggots. Disgusting. And because they are so riddled with parasites, you may as well look at dogs as one big parasite themselves. Always sniffing around and looking for something to eat nonstop like a leech. Now I refer to leeches, I compare dogs to leeches, maggots, and parasites all the time. Can leeches overeat? Y'all ever look this up? If you've ever been too full to move after a large meal, envy the leech. That darling of medieval physicians and terror of river bathers can gorge as much as it wants, okay? Leeches can eat non-stop and still squirm away, even if it bloats up to 10 times its normal size. Dogs do the same thing. If you give them 5 bags, giant bags of dog food, they will eat all 5. They'll eat themselves to death. Happens all the time. Look it up. Dogs break into a huge bag of dog food. By the time the owner comes home, the dog food is gone, and the dog is laid out somewhere bloated, need to go get its stomach pumped. They eat non-stop. Many of these dog lovers are all over the internet telling stories about how they feed their dog and they themselves go to have a meal and the dog still wants to eat their food. giant, disgusting leeches, maggots.
They are the stuff of nightmares. They dwell in filth and feed on decay. But maggots might also be the next thing your doctor pulls out of his medicine bag.
Just like dogs dwell and feast on filth, when they had their nasty, snot-covered nozzle scraping across the ground, they're sniffing for something that stinks. As soon as they come across something that has rotted, as soon as they come across excrement, urine, vomit, they immediately lick it up or eat it. So this is nothing but a giant maggot. Dogs are disgusting, and we need to look at them as such. No different from a maggot, a leech, parasite.
Maggots are the larva of another creature with an image problem, the fly.
See how the maggots, they're always squirming around? Dogs do that too. Non-stop squirming, and when they're looking around and sniffing and squirming like a maggot, they're doing the same thing maggots are doing, looking for something to eat.
In nature, flies lay their eggs in rotting flesh, so the maggot hatchlings won't have to stray far to find.
Okay, what y'all think dogs do? Dogs come across this rotted carcass, they're gonna start feeding on it. They're gonna eat the maggots. Nasty mutants gonna eat everything.
Eggs in rotting flesh, so the maggot hatchlings won't have to stray far to find food. This taste for dead flesh is what makes maggots taboo. But it also makes them perfect for use in medicine. Here in Wichita, Kansas, at the Wesley Medical Center's Midwest Center for Wound Healing, a new patient has come to try maggot therapy for the very first time.
Okay. Now we've compared them to maggots. We've compared these things to brood parasites. And we've compared them to leeches. Do you have any objections? Because I don't. Not at all. What is going on here? Welcome back. It is Friday, so we're going to get busy this weekend and handle some serious business. You know, is it wrong to compare dogs to these things? Are dogs more similar to something else? Maybe something less offensive? I don't think so. Their comparison with brood parasites, it sounds like a perfect match. These things are nothing but giant parasites. You compare them to a leech in regard to their their gluttony. They're exactly like leeches, exactly like maggots. Ungrateful, soulless. Here it is. This man has fed these worthless mutts their entire worthless life, or else they wouldn't be here today. Y'all talking about how emaciated they were, but these are fully grown dogs. So he's been feeding them. And maybe the man is poor. Y'all don't have no objections to people owning a bunch of dogs, and you never question if they have enough resources to feed them adequately. Maybe he was laid off. Maybe he's hard on cash and just one of those people who don't want to give the dog up. You see, they don't share any statements from the owner. They're not even allowing him to speak up for himself, to defend himself. And I believe the assumption that these things were abused is criminal. They're up here struggling to catch these things. If a dog is emaciated and is starving, isn't it also weak? Y'all remember I shared the information where their experts tell you to walk dogs. Y'all aware of that, right? They tell dog owners, especially owners of large dogs, walk your dog because a tired dog is a safe dog. This is what they say. So you walk the dog so that it will be relaxed when it gets back home. Right? So if a dog is emaciated, it's in a weakened state. When a dog is emaciated, fatigue increases. Just look it up. So how y'all gonna tell me, how you gonna make me believe that these things were starving? Oh, you can see their rib cage. Yet they had enough energy to launch attacks. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Y'all lie all the time. So I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt anymore. Anything that comes from a bunch of dog lovers, you should assume that it's a lie until proven otherwise, because none of it is going to make sense. How many of you have ever been very, very hungry? When you were hungry, did you feel like running around the block? Did you feel like playing a game of basketball? Did you feel aggressive? Did you feel like, you wanted to fight? Since when does aggression increase when you're so hungry that you're emaciated? Y'all have watched those videos where they rescue dogs? Those emaciated dogs are usually more likely to be afraid because they're aware that they don't have the energy and strength to defend themselves if they're attacked. So what are they talking about? Insane. So you clearly see how they will throw even fellow dog lovers under the bus. Nothing is above dogs in their mind. It's ridiculous. Shout out to all of you. K9 in the building. Life with Serena, Tom, and Moochie up in here. I will be back tonight. I have to go into work early, and I hope you all are able to join me tonight as we continue with this crusade.